first? Okay. Alright, Ms. Wagner, you have someone who wants to.
Yes, you have Wanda Shore and Margaret.
Okay, one at a time, okay, huh? Please come up to the podium. And if you could state your full name, Wanda Shore. How do you spell your last name? Okay, very good. So what would you like to say?
I just picked up on the day all this stuff. And the first thing was mommy and he's whooped her because he and at Reese he's like he has nightmares from us now and he snaps to Jasmine, he's a box him. And Isabelle is trauma and to a hospital and she couldn't even go into the bathroom. Not at all. And she was never like she was feral. She almost couldn't pull her clothes herself until somebody would come with her. That she's so traumatized.
Classic opening question. Did the attorney do their job? Courts always confirm this on record, so defendants can't later claim bad advice as an excuse. Smart legal safeguard.
You just wanted to, so in fact, you can, they have, this is what over I said, they are crazy, and terrified. Some of the sure, they're fine.
Hearing counseling?
Yeah, they do need, well, we're starting this walking counseling, we have to go to counseling,
Have they gone to counseling before this?
No, they weren't great, well, yes, before.
No, I mean, like, during the process.
Oh, this has all been like so far, as far as I know.
Okay.
Then they're starting it, so she needs to be a counselor, to go to class. So she'll go to counseling, find herself. She would get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom. Without a problem. Yeah, she was. She's terrified. And they're terrified they're going to love her. She's terrified she's going to go to the store. He's watching a cartoon on there. He first he watched the TV show now. Show photos on my table of the churches. I heard that I need Margaret. She's with them up to come out. He could counsel. And they do all for black home. Like put her right out. They walk into the kitchen and these pictures are just tore up. I was like, anybody push? I don't want her to push. She's not something that she won't hurt. She's tore up. I think she's really traumatized enough. Something to be like. She should divorce me. Really. She wants to. Definitely, she's going to grow. She thinks that there's no loss of children. She doesn't know how to get children first, so it kind of sacrifices her kids. You put her to spot up. There's a lot. She's never loved it. Yeah. I know it knows that she's also loved it. Oh. I think she also will be a short. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Wayne, Mr. Fox, podium 2. Thank you. You're welcome. And could you start off by stating full name?
It's Margaret.
Spell your last name?
P-L-E.
Just like a constable. Publish first name?
Margaret. M-A-R-G-A-R-E-T.
Yes, first and foremost, Wanda's referring to the incident with Reese happening in ABAS. That is why Isabelle is having issues with the bathroom. But from the very beginning, after this happened, Reese would have nightmares. He would holler out in the middle of the night or cry. He would holler out things like, "Quick, don't."
Here comes the emotional core, victim impact statements. Pay close attention, because these can heavily sway a judge's sentencing decision. It's no longer about laws and reports. It's about raw human pain.
"Stop. I don't want to." Why? Or he would be crying in his sleep. And he occasionally, we tried very hard to spell around him. If we have to be speaking about anything referring to this, so that he's not picking up on you. And he just comes right out and just says stuff. Something sparks his memory, something he sees on TV, something somebody says, and then he just interjects with, "Mommy and Keith did this," or "I didn't like it when Mommy did that," or "I don't ever want to see Mommy and Keith again." And I don't know how to, exactly describe what it's like for him on a daily basis. We move on. We do as much things as we can. We all spend as much time with him as we can, trying to get further and further away from the incident. That I'm hoping that it's not going to carry. He's not going to carry this for the rest of his life. But he speaks a lot about it. And when I initially saw the bruises, the first thing I said was, "Oh my goodness, Reese, what happened? How did you get all these bruises?" He said point blank, "I peed on the floor." He was in the middle of potty training. I peed on the floor, and Mama and Keith whooped me with a belt, put me in the corner. And I was the one that reported it. I was told to get Tommy and get it medically documented and started all of it. And I'm really and truly hoping that these kids can get past this, that they don't have all these residual effects and these lasting effects with years and years and years of abuse. And I do believe I'm just throwing this out. Isabelle suffered longer because she was old. And even we're almost a year exactly at this, and Reese is still talking about it, still making reference to it. And I just say, well, you know what? Everything's okay now. This is how I'm looking out of the direction of him starting to, everything's fine now. You're safe now. Everything's good now. Just so that I'm hoping slowly but surely we can kind of work this out of his mind so he's not as traumatized. But he's still to this day, a year later, has nights and dreams. He still talks about how he doesn't want to ever see them again, and that they are monsters. And I am not one of those people. I do not discuss this. I do not prompt him. I do not ask him questions. I don't ask him how he feels about this incident. This is something that we just never discuss, and he is the one that brings it up.
But he has to talk. That's why he should be in counseling. He should be doing counseling. He should be discussing it with professionals and working through it. He has to talk.
Yes. And Tommy has that before.
Because if he doesn't,
what I encourage, and that's what I was saying earlier, is that, everything's okay right now. You're safe right now. But, yes, I do understand what you're saying. I appreciate it.
exactly. What you say today, but it, so I think, he's doing good about talking about it, but he needs more counseling. Both of them do.
I do understand what makes me too.
Thank you so much. Alright. Anything you want to say in behalf of people?
Yeah, sure. So, just briefly, I think it's important to note when this investigation happened and the department was investigating it, Ms. Carver was not cooperative. She lied several times and was caught in those lies. She said she didn't have a belt at all. Found it out home. She said it wasn't her belt, it was a friend's belt with Steve and I. She went and interviewed that friend. That friend said, no, I didn't. And I there, that's not my belt. Sorry, it wasn't even her correction. Name, actually, or place where she.
Wow, that was heartbreaking. Notice how she emphasizes the kids' trauma in everyday life. Bathrooms, cartoons, even family photos. Judges listen closely to this because it shows long-term psychological damage, not just a single incident.
So there were a lot of lies told about this, but I saw photographs of the injuries on this little 3-year-old who was struggling. They were very distinct and clear belt marks. There were marks that indicated to me that the buckle of the belt had struck the little 3-year-old as well. When I asked his father, Tommy, his guardian, Wanda, and when he was described their reaction when they saw those, they cried and they told me about it. And they said their immediate reaction when they saw the marks was, you're not supposed to see marks like that in a little boy's body or a little child's body. And I guess I'm especially disheartened this morning because I went to his car on Zoom, and I don't think the judge has, I don't think that you have the better seeing this because you're focusing on Margaret, Wanda, and spoke, but Ms. Carver rolled her eyes and shook her head as they spoke, and I didn't see one bit of remorse from her. And I hope that she has remorse for the injuries that were inflicted on her young child, but she didn't demonstrate that this morning as Wanda and Margaret were speaking, and I think that's really disturbing. So I just asked you to know.
Thank you, Ms. Carver. Underway.
I'm sorry, I cut out there first.
One moment. I'll address. I'll address it. But I was
Two powerful victim voices back to back. Did you catch the theme? Both kids repeatedly label their mom as a monster. That's devastating in family court. It cements the sense of betrayal and lasting trauma.
like to start out by saying this is a tragedy for all consumers. This comment does not minimize in any way the damage done to her children. Ms. Carver understands that Ms. Carver has lost custody of her children. Ms. Carver is not even allowed any parenting custody. She has paid the price for that. Ms. Carver, I believe, goes to assault. Ms. Carver's victim, the other person who was initially charged in this. Your Honor, Ms. Carver thanks no excuse, Your Honor, for her conduct. Ms. Carver told me this morning that she has been getting daily texts from anonymous people threatening her and saying really troubling things to her. And that's, I think, why she is upset this morning. In addition to what we're doing here, Ms. Carver fully understands, Your Honor, that she has a long way to go, both as a person and to make herself to atone for what happened to you. We would ask the court sentence Ms. Carver probation and provisions that the court feels comfortable Ms. Carver does not live in this county anymore. There should be no excuse for any contact between these people at all. I think there may never But I think that we would ask the court to try to keep the home in this matter, Your Honor. Mr. Carver, ready to need to get this back.
Ms. Carver, anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
Yes. I need this to be reminded. When I had my daughter, being my circumstances, I understood that I couldn't care for her. And I gave her to Wanda. I put my trust in Wanda for my daughter. I didn't get any kind of full custody of my daughter until about a month, 2 months after I had asked them if I could put her on my taxes because they had been filing taxes for her. It was a problem. They stole her social security card and went ahead and did it anyways. I was trying to get Section 8 housing for me and
Ms. Carver, listen. I want to hear what you have to say about the fact your children are beaten. So why don't we talk about that?
I never, and I really say this with all my heart, and I feel like with what we've been through, I would never put my hands on my children. I realized that somebody else was, and I got away from it. I take blame for not noticing that that was happening, and I apologize. I do. I apologize. I did not realize that was happening. I didn't. I love my children. That will never change. And I have completely removed myself from all of that. I'm going to church. I'm going to parenting classes. I'm going to therapy. I'm doing everything that I can. And I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to be there for my kids. But I get woken up every morning telling me that I'm a horrible person and that's why my mom died and my dad doesn't love me and I should just go kill myself. And it's like I'm trying everything I can. And I realize I made mistakes. And I put myself and my children around people who they shouldn't have been around. And I regret that. I will always regret that. But I'm doing everything that I can to fix the problem that I can be allowed. You know what I mean? I'm doing everything I can.
Anything else?
I will do whatever I can for my children. I will do whatever I can. And even if that means I have to do it from a distance from it. I understand the predicament. But at the same time, these people, I mean, it doesn't even matter because, I mean, I have people who could stand up and literally attest to say that these people are lying. But I just felt like no matter what, I'm not going to be heard. So
Ms. Carver, thank you. In determining the appropriate sentence in this case, the court has considered the seriousness of the offense, your history, principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the sentencing guidelines, the report and recommendations of the probation department, as well as what has been said upon the record after this hearing, the criteria and reasons for the sentence on the nature and gravity of the offense, and this appropriate commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, potential for reformation, vindication of law, protection of society. So, Ms. Carver, what I heard was a lot of deflection of blame. Being a mother, I know if my kid has a bad mosquito bite. I certainly would know if someone was beating the shit out of my kid. And you let you're not talking anymore, I'm talking. So, fortunately, this happened, and now your kids are going to pay for this for the rest of their lives. The rest of their lives. Because in their eyes, you are a monster. So I'm glad that you're making progress. I'm glad that you're doing things through CPS. But, these children will take years to recover from this, and that's why they need to counsel. They can't forget about it to deal with it. So they need to be in counseling so they don't marry a man who beats the crap out of them, or, beat the crap out of their girlfriend. They have to change that. And unfortunately, you did not protect them, and that's why we're doing that. So, it's decided by the court that you will pay placed on probation for 12 months under 769.
Oof, bad move. Rolling your eyes in court, judges notice everything. Body language can sometimes scream louder than testimony. Lack of remorse equals harsher judgment.
4. During that term of probation, you will pay $750 in court costs, $450 court-appointed attorney fee, $100 fine, $50 state costs, $75 fine rights fee, $30 per month supervision fee. During your term of probation, you're not to use any legal controlled substances, any alcohol, not to be supervised around any minor children under the age of 17. You are to maintain employment, not to commit any assaultive behavior. Anything else? I would ask for no contact order between her and the children, and
Yes.
she lost custody to both children. Correct. So, I believe so.
Okay.
No contact with minor children. Can we include the children's father, so he's ready, as well as one short and part of that who frequently have the children in custody.
Okay.
So, Ms. Underwood, no contact with the children, their fathers, or the guardians. So you understand, Ms. Carver, you're not to have any contact with either biological father or either of the women who were here speaking today, Ms. Apple and Ms. Short. You understand that?
Yes. Will I be able to see my kids ever again?
No, you lost custody. You lost your parental rights over them. Your rights were terminated, correct, Ms. Carver?
I thought my custody was terminated. I thought I still had rights.
I don't know. I don't have that file, but I don't know if you'll ever see your kids again. Maybe when they're adults if they want to see you, but that would be them when they're an adult.
Here's the hammer. The judge isn't just punishing the crime. She's spelling out the ripple effect. How unchecked trauma can echo into the kids' adult lives. This is accountability with a long view.
All right. So, Ms. Carver, you do have the right to appeal this sentence, and we're going to mail to you 3 copies of your notice of right to appellate review. You'll initial and date one copy, put it back in the self-addressed envelope and mail it back to us. The other copies for you. If you wish to appeal the sentence, you would fill out the information on the form and mail it to the address listed on the form within 42 days. I need you to report to the district court probation officer